My name is Chase Rodman. Tonight, alongside last night's 14th place finisher in the feature and last night's heat race winner as well, Tanner Holmes. Tanner, great to have you up here in the tower. Are you looking forward to getting things underway here?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, this is a unique view. I haven't actually been all the way up here at the Silver Dollar Speedway, so a nice view of the racetrack, and obviously we got quite a few really good cars out here for the Friday prelim.
We certainly do. Now, Tanner is sitting down, just to let you know, he's not that short. I'm standing up, so for those of you that may be a little bit confused there, but Tanner, last night, 14th place, got a heat race win. The track looked like it was in really good shape. Hopefully we can see those same conditions here tonight.
Yeah, definitely. It started out with really good grip and obviously kept it throughout qualifying. A lot of guys that went out late still laid down good times. And then, we had the heat race invert. Guys still moved forward. And then they're in the feature with another invert. Corey, Brad, both those guys made basically every line on the racetrack work. So if your car's right and you're able to build the speed, definitely was capable of, moving forward. And I think we have a good show here coming up.
Yeah, it was fantastic action last night with Corey Day scoring the win from the 8th position. The weather forecast for tonight, let's take a look at that top left of your screen. An even 100 degrees as we speak, 8-mile-per-hour winds and clear skies here in Northern California, the Chico, California area to be exact. A very nice night. Order of events, let's take a look at what is coming up here. It's a little bit of what we saw from last night as well. Hot laps and qualifying. One car on the track for 2 laps. We'll have 4 heat races. Each of those will be 10 laps in distance with a 6-car invert. We'll have a B main for 12 laps. A feature be 30 laps and a $10,000 to win. That feature is $10,000 to win. And Tanner, the one thing that people need to keep an eye on here, there's points every time you hit the racetrack. Points in qualifying, points in the heat race, and points in the feature as well to try and set yourself up for a good spot tomorrow.
Yeah, no, it's a really big deal that you're on it every time you're on track. And that's what I think one thing High Limit's done a good job, setting up these formats that obviously create good excitement. There's guys that are going to do well here in qualifying, and then you don't just maybe get a chance in the heat race to kind of cruise. You really got to get on the gas, and if you don't move forward, there's going to be someone that's going to take the spot.
Absolutely, yeah, it's cutthroat out there during these heat races. Here is the track fact. Make that the notable entries, excuse me, is some of the drivers that are racing here tonight. Tim Kading, he's knows his way around this place pretty well. Dayson Pursley, had him up here in the booth last night. He's making his Silver Dollar Speedway debut tonight. James McFadden, Rico Abreu, 2-time Gold Cup winner. Gio and Dominic Scelzi in the field. Justin Sanders, most recent points-paying winner with Kubota High Limit Racing. Tanner Thorson, last year's prelim night winner. Spencer Basin in the W car, and Caleb Montgomery, who had a standout performance on Saturday at the Placerville Speedway. Here are the track facts, what you need to know about the Silver Dollar Speedway. 1962 when this track opened up. It is a 1/4 mile in length, and the track record you see on your screen there, Joey Saldana set that back on March 13th of 2009 at a 10.918 second lap time. Now, before we get down to Tony Laporta, Tony, I know you can hear me right now, and unfortunately you can't see the screen, it looks like, from where you're standing at, but we had some very nice people bring up some cookies today. Gold Cup 2025. I just had to show you this because they also wrote you a note. It says, to Tony, right here, you can't read it on the camera. Here are a few treats for the week. We love watching you on FloRacing. Thanks for what you do for High Limit Racing. Steve and Tina Sebastian. Now, Tony, you're going to have to take a look at this here in a little bit, but check out these cookies. That is a High Limit Racing cookie right there. Let's grab this one real quick. We got the Gold Cup logo on a cookie right here.
It's impressive.
So, yeah, I mean, Tony, Tanner might eat all your cookies by the time the night's over, but they'll be waiting up here for you when we're done tonight.
Chase, it's your description skills of those treats that really entice me to drop this microphone, walk, obviously I'm not running anywhere, and join you guys up in the booth. Those sound amazing. I'm sure they look even better, and a massive thank you. It was, I think we were out here last year, Chase, you and I both. I think somebody made you a t-shirt and hooked you up. I had a hand pencil drawn image of Corey Day and Brad Sweet that was gifted to me. So I mean, your home state, Chase, does not betray you. Very friendly, very gracious people whenever we come out here to the left coast. It was a great night of racing yesterday, and you talked about already, Chase, it's a nice, cool, even 100 degrees. That's what my Apple Watch says, and I just can't explain to you folks at home how comfortable it actually is out here. Yes, it's hot. Yes, it's almost over 100 degrees, but man, it's already feeling much better than yesterday. And with no humidity, it's really not maybe as bad as maybe we made it out to sound yesterday. The West Coast putting up pretty good conditions for us out here to come race. You know, a driver who's used to racing in these very hot, very dry, conditions. Rico Abreu from St. Helena, California, born and raised. I got a chance to talk with the two-time champion of the Gold Cup Race of Champions back in the pit area when things were a little bit warmer, but a little bit calmer. Two-time Gold Cup Race of Champions champion, Rico Abreu. With having that distinction, knowing what it takes to win this race, does that make future attempts at winning this race any easier?
I think it's just all exciting. I get anxious for the challenge that this racetrack brings to race car drivers. You know, especially with what this venue's become, what this event has become, the growth in it. I look forward to the activities throughout the day, each of these days, and you know, just putting together a solid performance for my team.
You know, you nail it, right? Kyle and Colby and Brad and Caitlin and Candace and Rachel all have just done such a great job with getting this place into the shape that it has been. You guys put out a really cool video, you and Toby Balboa, who's just been doing a phenomenal job with your videos lately. You guys have done that YouTube channel really, really well this summer. You guys made a really cool video promoting this race. It's a big, prestigious event to everybody, but it means a lot to you because you won your first ever sprint car race right here in Chico, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like early May or mid-May of 2012. I won a 360 race here and then won a couple Bradway Memorial races here. I believe I've won the Silver Cup, you know, and then never won the Fall Nationals, but 2 Gold Cups, no Gold Cup prelims. So tonight will be, ran second last year in the prelim night and second in the final night. But you know, I just, when I really think about this race, I think about the history, you know, of the previous winners, you know, the competition that has really accelerated around this event, the draw of the best California race car drivers, you know, meeting up with the best high limit racers, and you know, that you know, how difficult it really is to win this race. And it's a 40 lap race, so you know, it can be quite demanding at times to you know, in this weather of 103 degrees, just to put together a solid night. So these guys on this 24 car, they continue to work hard. You know, we've had some ups and downs on short tracks this year, we're not going to lie, and the results definitely show that, but we just keep putting our heads down and keep working to get the car to feel a little more comfortable for me each time we're on the track.
Man, you're not kidding. It's hard to put together a full night. It's hard to put together a full day, even when you're just me walking around. This heat is no joke on people of my carriage. Last question, lightning round here really quick. You talked about all the fun events during the day and the things that you guys look forward to. What's the thing that when you come hang out at the Gold Cup during the day, maybe the after party after the race, what's the event off track you got to hit when you're here?
You know, I definitely think the glow party and the bikini contest after the races, and they do a really good job about getting the races over early. You know, I know they shifted with the heat and stuff, you know, an hour later, and I looked at my clock, you know, last night right after the main event, and the high limit guys did a great job getting the feature over at 9:22 West Coast time. So just give everybody time for activities, and I think that's one thing that I've really noticed is the younger generation attending these events, families and kids, and the importance of these races getting over early, especially on weeknights, and people allowing themselves to go home and continue their work jobs and then get back to the races in the evening. So we got a 6:15 drivers meeting with a 7 o'clock hard start time. So I'm excited to get out on the track tonight and try to put on a show for these guys.
All right, that's Rico Abreu. He knows it's fun to have fun here at the Gold Cup. It is fun to have fun at the Gold Cup Race of Champions. Always grateful and a lot of fun to sit down and talk with Rico Abreu. He captured the Gold Cup Race of Champions in 2016 and 2018. His crew chief is Ricky Warner, National Sprint Car Hall of Fame member. Ricky's son, Drew Warner, is the crew chief for James McFadden in the Tarleton Motorsports number 21. The 21 from Tarleton and the 24 of Rico Abreu are pitted right next door to each other, just off the back straightaway here. Drew Warner, crew chief on that 21, told me you have to stay on top of track conditions here at Chico, at Silver Dollar Speedway, just because you never know what kind of racetrack you're going to get. Mike Hess, series director, as well as the folks here at the Silver Dollar Speedway, putting the finishing touches now here at the conclusion of engine heat. When we come back live on FloRacing, dirt draft, hot laps, and a whole lot more coming your way here from Chico, California.
To Silver Dollar Speedway as Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session number 1 now rolls on to the racetrack. Let's introduce you to the drivers as they appear on the speedway. First car on the track, she is rolling into turn number 1 now. Out of Geyserville, California, that is the Malcolm Drilling, Tico Truck and RV, Cruisewell Drilling. Number 76, that is Jennifer Osborne. Jennifer Osborne in the 76. And coming across the flag stand now from Templeton, California, the ShopCaleb.com, David Cry Engineering, Luxton Real Estate, Woodland Auto Display, number 3 of Caleb Montgomery. Caleb Montgomery in the number 3. And making his way down the front stretch now from Fresno, California, the Red Rose Transportation, Selzy Enterprises, Redline Oil, Whipples Industries, number 41, Dominic Selzy. Dominic Selzy in the number 41. And making his way into turn 1 now, a 61-time Silver Dollar Speedway winner from San Jose, California. The Maxwell Engines, Matco Disposal, Advanced Auto Center, Swimming Pool Perfections, Caps Powder Coating, number 0, TK, Tim Kading. Tim Kading in the 0. And making his way over to turn number 2 now from Fresno, California, the NOS Energy Drink, Spire Motorsports, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, Brand Professional Agriculture, Gainbridge, number 7 BC, that is Giovanni Selzy. Giovanni Selzy in the 7 BC. And rolling down the backstretch now from Harrisburg, Oregon, the Kyle Main Motorsports, Ham Construction, A-Main Trucking, number 35 KM, it's Tyler Thompson. Tyler Thompson in the 35 KM. And the final driver in session number 1 is Chase Park. He's out of Overland Park, Kansas. And the Triplex Chassis, Moose's LZ Bar and Grill, Gary Silva Ranches, Ditto's Graphics, number 17. Those are the drivers in Dirt Draft Hot Lap Session number 1 as the green flag is set to come out. Lap times coming in now. Chase Park so far the fastest at a 13:375. Tim Kading, first driver to break into the 12-second bracket at a 12:695. Giovanni Selzy also in the 12 seconds at 12.992. Looks like these drivers will get a couple of extra laps here, Tanner, to help work in that racing surface here.
Yeah, no, that's a big deal. What I'm kind of trying to pay attention here with these first couple cars is just how their attitude's going through the corner. You can tell definitely some grease for a second, but within, just a few laps, the lap time's already started to pick up as, the racing surface just kind of packing in that lane.
Yeah, Chase Park now the fastest driver at 12.541. Still under green flag conditions. Now the yellow lights come on. And usually when we see the yellow flag out and not the checkered, that means these drivers will pack the racing surface in for a few laps and then get back up to speed to green flag conditions. Caleb Montgomery is the fastest driver so far at 12.350 seconds. He drives car number 3. Tim Kading is in second at a 12.379. Dominic Selzy third at 12.537. Chase Park fourth, 12.541. And Giovanni Selzy fifth at 12.640. So, Tanner, you see these guys packing the racing surface, and we see this all the time, and it does seem to help. We can't figure out why, but it always seems to help.
It's actually funny, for someone who hasn't been to many dirt races, like, this is actually a big deal, and it's used kind of across the country for wing sprint car racing. Like, just that opportunity for these guys, basically what they're doing is just kind of putting the surface back together, that top layer, kind of the wet crumbs that get thrown across the track. The guys go and pack, and usually, whether it's a few tenths or even, a whole second, just a few laps of packing can really change things as we're trying to get the night rolling.
Usually when this happens, the lap times do seem to improve. We did mention Caleb Montgomery so far the fastest. The lap time was 12.350. How about that run by Caleb Montgomery? I know you guys are good buddies.
Yeah, no,
that was cool.
Caleb did a really good job. I mean, honestly, I feel like ran a perfect race. At the end of the day, Justin was a little better last week at the end, but Caleb's really improved as a driver and come a long way. And now, obviously racing with the best guys here now in the country and capable of winning these races. Yeah,
came up 2 laps shy of a victory at Placerville Speedway last Saturday night. Does have a win here at the Silver Dollar Speedway that came earlier this year. I believe is a 360s feature win here at Silver Dollar Speedway. Caleb Montgomery, you see him right there on your screen. The Woodland Auto Display number 3 is now the lights will come back on, or at least the green lights will come back on, and we will now get them back underway. We'll see if we can improve upon the lap times here. Montgomery, Kading, Selzy, Park, and Selzy for the top 5 before that yellow. And there we go. First time across the line for Giovanni Scelzi. He goes to the top of the board at 12.275. Jennifer Osborne with a 360 under the hood goes to third, now back to fourth with a 12.368. White flag being displayed as Tyler Thompson and Caleb Montgomery into the 11-second bracket. So the checkered comes out, and the fastest driver in that first session of hot laps is Tyler Thompson in the 35 km. Lap time 11.966 seconds. Tim Kading second, 11.975. Caleb Montgomery in third, 11.982. Giovanni Scelzi, 12.004. And Jace Park, a 12.026. Tanner, so far, are you liking what you're seeing?
Yeah, you know, and I honestly think that we wouldn't be surprised here to see the racetrack even continue to gain speed. You're seeing a lot of these guys kind of just running about halfway up the racetrack, and it's pretty normal here at Chico, especially into turn one. Like, guys kind of enter low early and then kind of start floating across. That's just kind of the normal line, but as it gets a little bit higher and you use a little bit more of the banking, I could see us, you know, dropping a little lower in the 11-second bracket. And yeah, I don't know. I think things are shaping up all right here for the first couple laps.
We'll have to wait and see if we do improve on those lap times. Tyler Thompson had a very good run here at the Gold Cup earlier on this, or make that last year. That 35 km car finished up 9th in the feature event on Saturday night. A very impressive run for the driver who currently sits second in the NARC Sprint Car point standings. And he's from your neck of the woods.
Yeah, Tyler is. I've actually raced with him from all the way back in the go-kart days in Outlaw Karts, and we've kind of just raced side by side a lot throughout the Pacific Northwest. And I think that's one thing, you know, sometimes the West Coast, I don't know if it's like with our time zone or whatnot. Obviously, our races happen a lot later than what's going on out east, but there's a lot of talent out here, and there really is. And I even say a little bit of hidden talent, you know, guys that just race some of the same tracks over and over and, you know, got a lot of speed, but just maybe haven't got the opportunity to travel. And now with what High Limit's doing, you know, bringing more national races out this way, it's actually a key opportunity for a lot of drivers just to, you know, get some of that spotlight and show, you know, show what we got out here in these 3 states.
Yeah, Tyler Thompson, not just a guy who drives them, he works on them as well. He's got a fabricating business where I've seen him make bumpers and Nerf bars and things like that for Outlaw Karts and Sprint Cars. As we wait to roll this next group on, it does look like we're getting that water truck out there, Tanner, to help pack in the top of the surface here before we send them out there on the track.
Yeah, definitely. And that water truck, you know, it's got obviously a lot more weight than, you know, what just our Sprint Cars are, which are 1425 is minimum weight requirement across the scales. So that's going to just keep packing things tighter. And I think, you know, on a night like this, you know, third night of racing, you know, these guys are really trying to be on top of this racetrack. You know, Silver Dollar Speedway's got a great crew, and it takes a lot of time and effort, you know, to just, you know, a lot of people just see it as dirt, but, you know, there's an art to what these guys do and how to get this surface, you know, money 4 nights in a row to, you know, keep everyone entertained and put on a good show.
Yeah, and I think they had it money last night for sure. You were in that feature, obviously. There was a really thin bottom. He had to slow down a lot, it seemed like, to hit that correctly, especially coming off the corner. And then in turn 2 on the top, we saw Corey Day and Brad Sweet. Those 2 guys were up at the front, and it seemed like turn 2, I don't know if you ran up there late in the race, but it seemed like they were really having some issues getting off the top of that side of the track. Was there something up there that was maybe bobbling them around?
Yeah, I think a lot of it, like, it just started to build a taller cushion, and then, you know, it kind of gets really thin off the corner, and it's actually easy to, I should say, it's difficult to almost stay on the straightaway. You almost end up off the back of the backstretch. So, you know, that's very common, and when you're obviously running as hard as you can, you know, a place like here, it's easy to make mistakes. So, obviously, those guys don't make a lot of mistakes, and that's why they're up front. But, yeah, no, Chico last night was in tip-top shape, and you couldn't really, you know, you had to be very finesse everywhere you ran, whether you had to have a lot of patience on the bottom or up top. You just kind of had to hustle to try to make that line work.
And that's where the cream really does rise to the top as we now get the next session of hot laps rolling onto the racetrack. Another driver utilizing a 360 engine here tonight to compete against the 410s from Placerville, California. It's the High Sierra Industries, C&H Motor Parts, ANRAC Corporation, Kings Meats, number 21X. That is Shane Hopkins. Shane Hopkins in the 21X. And rolling by him on the inside from Fresno, California, the Tarleton & Sons, SenCal Services, Ardent General, Bandy & Associates, number 121. That is Caden Steele. Caden Steele in the 121. And rolling into turn number 2 now from Suisun City, California, the Bushy Financial, C&H Motor Parts, Sierra Single Ply, Quick Change Liquid Energy, number X1, Chance Grasty. Chance Grasty in the X1. And rolling into turn number 1 now from Alice Springs, Northern Territory, Australia. The Tarleton and Son American Rock and Rent Durst Incorporated Bandy and Associates number 21. It's James McFadden. James McFadden in the 21. And a Race Redeem Foundation Rookie of the Year contender about to roll down the backstretch now from Apollo, Pennsylvania. The Mercedes Motorsports, Ducati of Pittsburgh, Hollywood Blasting Coating, Mountain Mechanical, MAV Motorsports number 42. That is Cy Lynch. Cy Lynch in the 42. And the final driver in this set, make that the second to last driver in this session. The driver from Arlington, Washington, the XXX Race Components, Pacific Performance Coatings, Shark Engines, Grinders Automotive, number 21S, Jesse Schlotfelt. Jesse Schlotfelt in the 21S. And just behind him, the final driver in this session from Sacramento, California, the Chuck's Corvette, JKF Enterprises, Loyalty Builders, Kim's Custom Creations, number 9F of Dustin Freitas. Dustin Freitas in the 9F, green flag out on Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 2. Getting a look at Cy Lynch as he is making his Silver Dollar Speedway debut here tonight. Had an 11th place run back at Placerville in his debut there. Chance Grasty so far the fastest in this group, and now Jesse Schlotfelt goes up to the 3rd spot. Schlotfelt's lap at 11.977. McFadden eclipses him by 1/1000th of a second to go to 3rd. White flag displayed. Now Dustin Freitas goes to the top of the board, 11.956. Checkered flag being displayed. These drivers finishing up their hot lap session. And it looks like the lap time is going to hold from Dustin Freitas, the number 9F car. You see him on your screen there. The lap time, 11.956 seconds. So nice job by Dustin Freitas laying down a good lap there. Tyler Thompson 2nd, Tim Kading 3rd. James McFadden, that group was 4th overall, 11.976, and Jesse Schlotfelt in 5th at 11.977 seconds. Caleb Montgomery, Giovanni Selzy, Chance Grasty, Jace Park, and Caden Steele round out the top 10. So we did get a faster lap time there, Tanner, but not by much and not really by a huge margin either. Yeah, for sure. No, and I think we'll just kind of have to see how these next few hot lap sessions, kind of turn out. Sometimes it takes the racetrack, it'll surprise you. You'll go through a session where it could be stagnant. Yeah. It might take us to get to session 4 to get faster, or, like Drew Warner, my crew chief over when I was running with Tarleton Motorsports, said, you never know what this place will throw at you. I mean, realistically, I've seen Chico in so many different conditions, and tonight we might see a completely new one. So just really been trying to check out the racetrack, see what it's doing. You can definitely see in 1 and 2, especially where it's kind of peeling apart, some bigger chunks, so that could, lead to a bigger cushion down there, or, spots that build character. You just never really know. So it's important, these guys are definitely going to be watching this thing all night. Another 360 driver rolling down the backstretch in his high limit racing debut tonight from Hollister, California. That is the ANRAC Corporation, Lund Construction, Creason Enterprises, Matroscope, number 7C. That's Tony Gomes. Tony Gomes in the 7C. And the driver that was up here in the booth with us last night from Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the Pella Avanti Windows and Doors, Big Spring Car Wash, Water Treatment by Design, Juniata Concrete, number 13, Dason Persley. Dason Persley in the 13. Another driver in his high limit racing debut here tonight from Dunnigan, California, the Farm Logistics, Hayes Farms, Valley Tire, Interstate Oil, number 9L, Luke Hayes. Luke Hayes in the 9L. And another high limit racing debut tonight from Central Point, Oregon, the Johnston Water Service, Chuck Praler, Sealing Specialties, Jake's Truck and Equipment Repair, number 21W, Jake Wheeler. Jake Wheeler in the 21W. There is Mariah Ead on your screen. Mariah from Fresno, California. She drives the Pacific Boring, Circle J5 Farms, M&L Plumbing, MedTech Titanium, number 14E. And the most recent points-paying feature winner with Kubota High Limit Racing rolls down the front stretch now from Aromas, California. The Folkens Brothers Trucking Power Plus, STC American Table, Bargain Barn number 87. That is Justin Sanders. Justin Sanders in the 87. And looks like an issue for Jake Wheeler as he comes to a stop at the exit of turn number 2. Jake Wheeler tonight in his high limit racing debut. Another driver from up in Tanner's area from Central Point, Oregon. That family, his brother Mike. Obviously, the pretty good history out here when it comes to the outlaw kart stuff. Mike was an absolute legend. We don't get to see him much anymore as he lives out in North Carolina, but you've raced with Jake quite a bit as well.
Yeah, Jake, Mike, I mean, like I said, the Wheeler family was definitely a staple in outlaw kart racing, and you know, I actually just got a chance to race with Mike when I was back there in North Carolina, so he's still doing it, and just great to see those guys all the time, you know, still wheeling.
Jake Wheeler does refire that number 21W car, so it looks like he will be able to get a lap or two in this Dirt Draft Hot Lap session. We will have one more Hot Lap session to run after this one. We mentioned Tony Gomes out there in the 7Cs on your screen. That is a 360 engine under the hood. There are a couple of those drivers here tonight, including 9L Luke Hayes in this group, 76 Jennifer Osborne, and 21X Shane Hopkins. 4 360s in the field here tonight, as we look to see if anybody can take over the top spot in Hot Laps. Currently held by Dustin Freitas, 11.956. How about that lap by Dason Persley? 0.4 of a second faster than the next guy there, Tanner.
Yeah, Dason looked really good. I actually just eyed him that entire lap, and yeah, he was able to carry really good speed. And honestly, it seems like he's been qualifying and had really good speed out of the gate a lot of this season.
Yeah, this whole season, that team has been fantastic early on in the night. Justin Sanders right behind him. The only two drivers in the 11.5 second bracket. White flag set to come out. And Persley continues to lay down heaters midway through this hot lap session. Sanders and Persley, the only drivers in this group in the top 10. As the checkered waves, and now Dason Persley will be the fastest driver overall. 11.506 seconds. Justin Sanders right behind him. 11.592. Dustin Freitas third. Tyler Thompson fourth. And Tim Kading in fifth. James McFadden, Jesse Schlotfeld, Caleb Montgomery, Giovanni Selzy, and Chance Grasky, the top 10. But Tanner, there are some good cars coming out here in this final session. Let's see if they can unseat Dason Persley from the top.
Yeah, I think this is where a lot of guys that have already hot lapped, if they get a chance to watch this last hot lap session, this is kind of going to judge, or this is going to be a chance for them to judge, you know, where the racetrack's at and where they need to be now as they get ready to go out for their qualifying session early. So yeah, we got you know, quite a few good cars here hitting the track.
The Musco lights pop on around the Silver Dollar Speedway. Great new addition to this racetrack in 2025. As we see the two-time Gold Cup champion rolling into turn number 1 now. He is from St. Helena, California, driving the Rico Abreu Curbagagini and Racing, Stanislaw for Construction, Pacific Boring, ArcZone.com. Number 24, it's Rico Abreu. Rico Abreu in the 24. And in turn number 1 now, from Hollister, California, the NOS Energy Drink, Inland Rigging, MP Environmental, Woodland Auto Display, SureCan LLC, number 73, it's Ryan Burnell. Ryan Burnell in the 73. Also on the track from Lubbock, Texas, the Horizon Whiskey, Nice Cretin Landis, ShopTruckParts.com, PhilPools.com. High Performance Lubricants, number 5, it's Brenham Crouch. Brenham Crouch in the number 5. And from Lebanon, Indiana, the Works Limited, JVI Group, Smith Titanium, FK Shocks, Banshee Graphics, letter W, Spencer Baston. Spencer Baston in the letter W. And last year's prelim night winner here at the Gold Cup. From Minden, Nevada, the JST Motorsports, the Ritual, Smith Titanium, Factory Cane, Maxima Racing Oils, number 88, it's Tanner Thorson. Tanner Thorson in the 88. And the final car in this session from Alberta, California, the Americoat, Sabre Sheet Metal, Torsion Bar Dyno Service, Grandma and Grandpa. Number 7W, it's Dennis Shear. Dennis Shear in the 7W. So we'll see if anybody can top the lap time by Dason Persley, 11.506 seconds. And there's a couple of guys in this group, Tanner, that I would think to point at for that. Obviously, Rico Abreu, got Spencer Baston out there, who's been on fire in that W car, and last year's prelim night winner, Tanner Thorson, as well.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be surprised if any of these guys go right to the top of the board, especially, too, with how the track's just already, you know, maybe still gaining speed. There's still a little, you know, room to get a little quicker.
We'll see as the lap times will be coming across our screen here momentarily. Spencer Baston goes immediately to the 3rd spot on the board. Rico Abreu 4th. And Tanner Thorson goes to 2nd on the board. Ryan Burnell 17th. Dennis Shear 26th. Brenham Crouch into the top 10 as well. Nobody able to jump up there and get Persley, but Tanner Thorson very, very close. 11.538 seconds. Spencer Baston better on his 3rd time by, still 4th overall. And a caution is out. We got one car stopped in turn 2, the 73 of Ryan Burnell. So Ryan Burnell with a problem in the Josh Ford Motorsports number 73. Fastest in that session, it looks like we are going to keep these drivers out there for a few more laps, is Tanner Thorson in car number 88. He's second quick, 11.538 seconds. Spencer Baston fourth, 11.619. And Rico Abreu fifth, 11.844. Looks like Ryan Burnell is going to take that NOS Energy Drink 73 car back to the trailer. He's the last car to qualify, Tanner, so he's got some time to work on that thing and get back out there.
Yeah, that's not a fun situation when something goes wrong in hot laps. I mean, obviously you want as much time as you can, but yeah, that can turn into a scramble really, really quick. Been there, done that. Last night our team had to actually do an engine change after qualifying, so we know what it's like. It's not fun.
Ryan Burnell was 13th in the 2022 Gold Cup finale. A green-white checkered session here to finish things off in dirt draft hot laps before we get into Capital Custom Trailer qualifying. As there is Spencer Baston. He's ran second, fifth, and second in his 3 nights behind the wheel of that Kevin Kozlowski letter W car. Spencer now goes to second quick on the board. So at the conclusion of the final dirt draft hot lap session, Spencer Baston second quickest overall, 11.510 seconds. But Dason Persley tonight, fastest overall in his Silver Dollar Speedway debut at 11.506 seconds. Baston second, Thorson third, Sanders fourth, and Rico Abreu fifth. Brenham Crouch, Dustin Freitas, Tyler Thompson, Tim Kading, and James McFadden complete the top 10. Is that impressive to you, Tanner? First time here to Silver Dollar Speedway? Dason Persley to the top of the board?
Yeah, I mean, Chico's not an easy place to pick up. I mean, a lot of these West Coast tracks aren't, so, I mean, Dason obviously done a good job, coming out this way, and we'll see how things kind of carry over here to qualifying. It'll be interesting, now we kind of see, obviously, with where those cars went, how does the racetrack, how does it hold up here? The sun is kind of starting to go down, so that might help a little bit, but yeah, we got, 26 cars here, and we'll have to see how things start from car 1 to car 26 and how the lap times fare.
Yeah, this could be very interesting. Last night's qualifying session was certainly a fun one as well. A couple of drivers going to the top. And with this format, with the Gold Cup Race of Champions, it is not a split field in qualifying, as we normally see when we get to 32 cars with a high-limit event. We split the field in half. That is not the case here tonight. There are points on the line for qualifying, 100 points to quick time, 99 points for second, 98 for third, and so on and so forth down the field. And then you get points in the heat race as well, and points in the feature. We talked about last night who those top 5 guys were in the point standings after night number 1, as it looks like we are rolling our first car onto the track for Capital Custom Trailer qualifying here tonight. And that first qualifier comes to us out of Fresno, California. He drives the NOS Energy Drink, Spire Motorsports, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, Brand Professional Agriculture, Gamebridge. Number 7 BC, here is Hot Sauce, Giovanni Scelzi. Giovanni Scelzi in the 7 BC. Gio 16th in the feature at Placerville last Saturday. Lap 1 is at 11.713, 11713 for Gio on lap number 1. Was 20th in the Gold Cup in 2023, 9th on his prelim night that year. Lap number 2 is going to slow down to an 11.796, first lap better, 11.713. Giovanni Scelzi sets the bar as the first car out in Capital Custom Trailer qualifying. Your next qualifier from Harrisburg, Oregon. Here's the Kyle Main Motorsports, Ham Construction, A-Main Trucking. Number 35 KM, it's Tyler Thompson. Tyler Thompson in the 35 KM. Lap 1 for Tyler. He'll be right behind Gio. 2 1/1000ths of a second, 11.715, 11715. 8th in the prelim night last year, 9th in the finale 1 year ago. Lap 2 is going to slow down to an 11.872. First lap better, 11.715. Second quick for Tyler Thompson. Next up from Overland Park, Kansas, the Triple X Chassis, Moose's LZ Bar and Grill, Gary Silva Ranch's Ditto's Graphics. Number 17, here is Jace Park. Jace Park in the 17. Lap 1 for Park, he'll be third overall, a 12.025, 12025. Did not qualify for the feature back at Placerville, was 10th with NARC here back in June at the Silver Dollar Speedway. Lap 2, he will improve up to an 11.936, 11936. Third quick for Jace Park. Your next qualifier comes to us out of Fresno, California. He drives the Red Rose Transportation, Scelzi Enterprises, Redline Oil, Whipple Industries. Number 41, it's Dominic Scelzi. Dominic Scelzi in the 41. Lap 1 for Dom is third quick, 11.906, 11906. Dominic was third on his prelim night in 2017 and in 2023, and fourth in the 2023 Gold Cup finale. Lap 2 will slow down to a 12.056. 1.2056. First lap better, third quick for Dominic Scelzi. From Templeton, California, theshopcaleb.com, David Cry Engineering, Luxton Real Estate, Woodland Auto Display number 3. This is Caleb Montgomery. Caleb Montgomery in the number 3. Montgomery on lap 1, he'll go third quick, 11.903, 11903. Montgomery leading 33 laps at Placerville on Saturday, finished second in the features, best ever Highland Racing event run. Lap number 2, he'll improve up to an 11.799, 11799, third quick for Caleb Montgomery out of 5 cars so far. And an issue for your next qualifier in the push-off chute there. Tanner, so far, what have you seen? It looks like the line is kind of just above the middle, it looks like.
Yeah, there's a nice color change where you can kind of see right now, I bet, all these guys, what they'd be out there right now, they'd be wide open, just really trying to hustle as much as they can and keep that car rotated.
One of the 360 competitors here tonight now on the track from Geyserville, California. She drives the Malcolm Drilling Chico Truck at RV Cruisewell Drilling number 76. This is Jennifer Osborne. Jennifer Osborne in the 76. Lap 1 for Jennifer, a 12.231, 12231. Osborne trips up on the cushion in turn number 2. There is a 360 bonus here at the Gold Cup, $2,000 to the highest finishing 360 throughout the weekend's events. Lap 2 for Jennifer Osborne slows down to a 13.089. First lap better, 12.231. 6th quick for Jennifer Osborne. Next up from San Jose, California, the Maxwell Engines, Amadco Disposal, Advanced Auto Center, Swimming Pool Perfections, Caps Powder Coating. Number 0, here is TK, Tim Kading. Tim Kading in the 0. Lap 1 for TK, 4th quick, 11.886, 11886. Was second here in the 2002 and 2018 Gold Cup finale. Lap number 2 for Tim Kading is going to slow down to an 11.952. First lap slightly better, 11.886. 4th quick for Tim Kading in the 0. Another 360 competitor now on the racetrack from Placerville, California. It's the High Sierra Industries, C&H Motor Parts, ANRAC Corporation. Kings Meats, number 21X, it's Shane Hopkins. Lap 1 for Shane, a 12.452, 12452. Hopkins currently top 5 in the Placerville Speedway Track Championship point standings, with 1 win on the year at that track. Lap number 2, he will improve to a 12.405, 12405, 8th quick for Shane Hopkins. Next up from Sassoon City, California, it's the Bushy Financial, C&H Motor Parts, Sierra Single Ply, Quick Change Liquid Energy, number X1. It's Chance Grasty. Chance Grasty in the X1. Lap 1, 3rd quick, 11.752, 11752. Chance Grasty made the feature here last year at the Gold Cup, 19th in the main event. A little bit of an issue off of turn number 4. Lap 2 will slow down to an 11.844. First one better, 3rd quick for Chance Grasty, 11.752. In his Silver Dollar Speedway debut, next on the track from Apollo, Pennsylvania, the Mercedes Motorsports, Ducati of Pittsburgh, Hollywood Blasting Coating, Mount Mechanical, Mav Motorsports, number 42, it's Cy Lynch. Lap 1 for Cy, 4th quick, 11.763, 11763. Cy Lynch, 11th in the feature at Placerville. He's currently 13th in the point standings with Kubota Highland Racing. Lap number 2 up to 3rd quick, 11.741, 11741, 3rd quick for Cy Lynch. From Sacramento, California, the Chuck's Corvette, JKF Enterprises, Loyalty Builders, Kim's Custom Creations. Number 9F, the driver is Dustin Freitas. Dustin Freitas in the 9F. Lap 1 for Freitas, he'll be 7th overall at 11.889, 11889. Dustin Freitas was 22nd in the prelim night here last year against Kubota Highland Racing. Well, lap number 2 is going to slow down to an 11.904. The first lap just a little bit better at 11.889, 7th quick for Dustin Freitas. From Arlington, Washington, the Triple X Grace Components, Pacific Performance Coating, Shark Engines, Grinders Automotive, number 21S, this is Jesse Schlotfelt. Lap 1 for Jesse, 6th quick, 11.831, 11831. Jesse Schlotfelt, a NARC winner up at the Cottage Grove Speedway in Oregon earlier on this year, the first of his career. Lap number 2 up to 3rd quick, 11.732, 11732, 3rd quick for Jesse Schlotfelt. For Next qualifier is out of Alice Springs, Northern Territory, Australia. It's the Tarleton & Son American Rocket Red Durst Incorporated Banyan Associates, number 21. It's James McFadden. James McFadden at 21. McFadden on lap 1 goes 5th quick, 11.741, 11.741, identical lap time to Cy Lynch. We use the second lap. If his is better, we'll undo the tie between himself and the 42 car, and it looks like Cy's second lap was better, so he will have 4th. McFadden will be in 5th at the conclusion of his qualifying time. Next up from Fresno, California, the Tarleton & Son, SinCal Services, Ardent General Banyan Associates, number 121. Here is Caden Steele. Caden Steele in the 121. Lap 1 for Caden is 13th quick, 12.281, 12281. Does have one NARC win this year that came back at the Thunderbolt Raceway in Tulare back in May. Was 15th with high limit at Tulare. Lap 2 up to 12th quick now, 11.961, 11961, 12th quick for Caden Steele. Another 360 competitor on the track from Hollister, California, the ANRAC Corporation, Lund Construction, Creason Enterprises, Matroscope. Number 7C, it's Tony Gomes. Tony Gomes in the 7C. Gomes on lap 1, 13th quick, a 12.053, 12053. Tony Gomes, the current points leader over at the Placerville Speedway with 2 wins on the year. Lap number 2 is better, up to a 12.022, 12022, 13th quick for Tony Gomes. Qualifying next out of Fresno, California, the Pacific Boring, Circle J5 Farms, M&L Plumbing, MedTech Titanium. Number 14E, this is Mariah Ead. Mariah Ead in the 14E. Lap 1 for Mariah, she'll be 14th quick at a 12.196, 12.196. Mariah was 13th here with NARC King of the West back in June. Lap number 2 is better, up to a 12.088, 12088, 15th, make that 14th quick for Mariah Ead. Making his Highland Racing debut tonight from Central Point, Oregon, the Johnston Water Service, Chuck Praylor, Sealing Specialties, Jake's Truck and Equipment Repair, number 21W, this is Jake Wheeler. Jake Wheeler in the 21W. Lap 1 for Jake, 17th quick, a 12.425, 12.425. Jake Wheeler, a 360 feature winner at the Southern Oregon Speedway earlier on this year. Lap number 2 up to 15th quick now at a 12.093, 12093, 15th quick for the 21W. Next up from Aromas, California, the Fulkins Brothers Trucking, Power Plus, STC Global, American Table Bargain Barn. Number 87, this is Justin Sanders. Justin Sanders in the 87. Lap 1 for Sanders is going to be 14th quick, a 12.067, 12067. Justin Sanders coming in with 3 410 wins in a row here at the Silver Dollar Speedway. Lap number 2 up to the top of the board, an 11.599, 11599. Justin Sanders to the top. Fastest driver in hot laps now on the track from Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the Pella, Avanti Windows and Doors, Big Spring Car Wash, Water Treatment by Design, Juniata Concrete, number 13. Here's Dason Pursley. Pursley, 4th quick on lap 1, 11.724, 11724. Dason Pursley tonight in his make that his Silver Dollar Speedway debut. He was 8th at Placerville on Saturday. Lap number 2 to the top, 11.573, 11573. Dason Pursley now to the top of the board. Another 360 competitor making his Highland Racing debut from Dunnigan, California, the Farm Logistics, Hayes Farms, Valley Tire, Interstate Oil. Number 9L, it's Luke Hayes. Lap 1 for Luke is 19th quick at a 12.271, 12271. Luke Hayes, 15th with the Sprint Car Challenge Tour here back in 2022. Lap number 2 up to 18th quick now at 12.226, 12226 for Luke Hayes in the 9L. Your next qualifier is from Lebanon, Indiana. He drives the Works Limited, JVI Group, Smith Titanium, FK Shocks, Banshee Graphics. Letter W, the driver is Spencer Baston. Lap 1 for Spencer is going to be 3rd quick, 11.675, 11675. Spencer 2nd at Tulare and 5th at Placerville. Was 2nd in the 360 here on Wednesday night. Lap 2 is better, still 3rd quick, 11.603, 11603. 3rd quick for Spencer Baston. Qualifying next out of Alberta, California, the Americoat Sabre Sheet Metal Torsion Bar Dyno Service Grandma and Grandpa. Number 7W, this is Dennis Shear. Dennis Shear in the 7W. Lap 1 for Dennis is a 12.427. 1.224, make that 1.2427. Dennis Shear did not qualify for the feature at Placerville. Was third on April 5th and July 26th at Marysville in a 360. Lap 2 is a 12.710. First lap better, 12.427. The two-time Gold Cup champion now on the racetrack from St. Helena, California. The Rico Abreu Kerbag Racing, Stanloff Construction, Pacific Boring, ArcZone.com, number 24, Rico Abreu. He tripped over the cushion in turn number 2. This first lap not going to be a good one. It's 23rd, a 13.495, 1.3495. Rico gets through turn 2 a little bit cleaner that time by. His wins were 2016 and 2018 at this event. Lap number 2 is 15th quick, 11.947, 15th for Rico Abreu. And the guy he battled with for the prelim night win last year now on the track from Minden, Nevada. It's the JST Motorsports, the Ritual, Smith Titanium Factory Cane, Maximum Racing Oils, number 88, Tanner Thorson. Tanner Thorson in the 88. Lap 1 for Thorson is 10th quick, 11.756, 11.756. Tanner Thorson also second with the World of Outlaws here back in March of 2015. Lap number 2 is going to slow down to an 11.912. First lap better, 10th quick, 11.756. 2 more cars to qualify. Next up from Lubbock, Texas, the Horizon Whiskey, Nice Cretan Landis, ShopTruckParts.com, FieldPools.com, High Performance Lubricants, number 5. It is Brenham Crouch. Brenham Crouch in the number 5. Lap 1 for Brenham is going to be 21st, a 12.196, 1.2196 on lap 1 for Brenham. He was 21st in his prelim night last year, did not qualify for the Gold Cup finale. Lap 2 is up to a 12.126, 1.2126. Still 21st quick for Brenham Crouch. And your final qualifier now takes to the Speedway from Hollister, California. He drives the NOS Energy Drink, Inland Rigging, MP Environmental, Woodland Auto Display, SureCan LLC. Number 73, it's Ryan Burnell. Lap 1 for Ryan is 21st quick, a 20, or make that a 12.094, 1.2094. Ryan Burnell was 13th in the 2022 Gold Cup, second with NARC at Santa Maria this year, his best 410 run. 18th quick on lap 2, up to a 12.003, 1.2003. And that is going to do it tonight for Capital Custom Trailer Qualifying. Your fastest driver overall, the number 13, Dason Pursley. 11.573 seconds. Tanner, he was fastest overall in hot laps, and he did it again in qualifying. He's got Silver Dollar Speedway figured out pretty quick.
Yeah, and realistically, Dason's laps just looked really, really smooth. I mean, we saw a couple guys, struggle to get through 1 and 2 or get on top of it, but Dason was able just to be plugged into it, and you could see that his car, obviously, too, was able to just get pointed off the corner and, make a really good lap.
Yeah, very impressive stuff there, front end bouncing around in turn number 4, and Silver Dollar Speedway debut. He is fastest overall on night number 2 of the 71st Mike Curb Gold Cup Race of Champions presented by NOS Energy Drink. Justin Sanders second, Spencer Baston third, Giovanni Scelzi fourth, Tyler Thompson fifth, and then Jesse Schlotfelt, Cy Lynch, James McFadden, Chance Karaski, and Tanner Thorson complete the top 10 here on night number 2. Opening ceremonies coming up here very shortly from the Silver Dollar Speedway. We'll take a break here on Flow. We'll come back with more action here at the Gold Cup.
Racing on FloRacing.
Introducing the My Kubota app. With My Kubota, connecting with your local dealer is easier than ever. Find them with just a tap and contact them quickly for any assistance you need. Access comprehensive resources like how-to guides, owner's manuals, fault codes, maintenance schedules, and more. Everything you need to keep your Kubota running smoothly. Download the app today.
Capital Custom Trailers and Coaches. We are the #1 Renegade Toterhome dealer and the #1 Intech and Bravo Sprint Car Trailer dealer. No one sells more Toterhomes and Sprint Car Trailers than we do. Check out our complete lineup at capitalrenegade.com. If you're in the market for a Toterhome or a trailer, trust the people that are in the pits with you and that support the sport.
Winning doesn't just happen. You have to engineer it. You have to test it and make it better than it was the last time. Our engineers have the passion to create the parts you need, the way you need them to be, again and again and again. We've led this game for over 40 years, and we design, refine, and perfect every valve train part worthy of the winner's circle.
Since their 2001 inception, DMI Racing components have changed the game. From open-wheel suspension, steering, and driveline components to their line of Bulldog quick change rears, they set the new standard for innovation, performance, and value. DMI and Bulldog products are backed by the best customer support in the industry with more than 150 years of race-winning experience. Let our experience help guide you to victory lane. We race, you race. Let's race together.
West Coast, are you ready? This is Wedge high-performance karts. Born out here, built by hand, powered to dominate. Made in the USA and packed with raw horsepower, razor-sharp handling, and head-turning attitude. We're teaming up with High Limit Racing on the West Coast Swing, and we're bringing the heat. First 20 orders get a free tire and wheel package. Lock it in now. Find us at the track or hit wedgekarts.com. Let's go full throttle.
We got them racked, we got them stacked, and we've got the grandstands packed.
Super healthy for sprint car racing and compete for a championship.
You can feel the buzz around. We want to race the best guys every night.
Whole different level.
This is the High Limit Room. It's the home of 24 high rollers.
And welcome back as we're getting a little bit of a light show going on here at the Silver Dollar Speedway. The new Musco lights, they are something, that is for sure. We're up here in the booth with Tanner Holmes. And Tanner, how cool is it when you get lights like this? This place looks completely different with Musco lights all the way around it.
Oh, it's a big deal. I think, from the driver's seat, we've been to places across the country that, maybe don't have great lighting, and it makes it difficult to do your job. You're out there, you're trying to race, and, even all of our cars have different colors. Some are easier to see than others, and and then also there's other factors that play into that, whether it's dusty or whatnot. So having great lighting definitely adds to the show and makes Silver Dollar Speedway what it is.
Well, so far tonight we've seen Dason Pursley go to the top of the board in Capital Custom Trailer qualifying. First time here to Silver Dollar. He was up here last night, and so I don't know if maybe that helped him out. So maybe tomorrow you might win the Gold Cup.
For sure, no, definitely. It's always nice to get to different views of the racetrack, and even being up here, calling and watching what's going on. You can definitely see the cars differently than even some of the different viewpoints we have, on our side of things. So it's nice and nice to just kind of see how things play out, and we help us for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, so 14th last night. You were able to get a win earlier this year at Silver Dollar and a second place with NARC as well. So it seems like you guys have, that was in the Tarleton 21, obviously, but it seems like you've got this place pretty well figured out, at least this year, right?
Yeah, definitely. Chico's a place that, has taken me a couple years just to, get solid speed at. And then now also with SLC taking it over, I feel like it's kind of changed, from then, Low Morale, who was doing it before, and just really, really a great racetrack, and they've got it, a lot more consistent each night on kind of what we're going to see. So, yeah, really enjoyed Chico, and, hoping to see it nice and slick and wide tonight, kind of like what we had yesterday.
Don't want to jump too far ahead, but Monday night we're heading back up to your home territory, the Douglas County Dirt Track with Kubota High Limit Racing. The Showdown on the River, which was a fantastic event last year. A million people there, and the track was really good, but that is right there. How far away is that from your house?
Yeah, it's just an hour north, and I'm super biased, but I think it's going to be one of the great shows of our season. Honestly, last year I feel like it was kind of a hidden gem. No one really knew what to expect. Going to a new racetrack, things can either go really good or really bad, right? You just never know. But they did a great job up there, and now honestly they've been running some more sprint car races, running more shows. I think they're really just figuring out their racetrack and where they need it for 410s or 360s or whatever's there that night. So I think Monday could be really cool. And I feel like a situation like that, a track where not a lot of guys get to run all the time, it can also produce maybe that first-time winner or a good, interesting situation.
Yeah, it was exciting. Last year I thought the race was very, very good, but I feel like they can get the track just that much better, right? They didn't have it dialed in all the way, but it was still such a good race. The shape is perfect, right up against the wall. NARC's ran there a few times, and they've had it nailed. So, going to be a really great show. And, the fans last year.
Yeah.
When you rolled on the track last year at Douglas County, you thought the grandstands were tipping over.
Yeah, no, it was pretty nuts. And Oregon's obviously home, so we just really enjoy getting up there and, seeing a lot of, not just even fans, but friends and family, people that have followed, us and the other Oregon guys or Northwest guys from, where we started. So, yeah, Monday's going to be a really good night, and for a team like ours, it's a place we got some good notes, and we feel like it could be a place we could, upset High Limit or, or put together another good showing like last season.
Yeah, you were close last year with a podium finish up there at Douglas County, where it does look like we are about ready to go downstairs for opening ceremonies. Not quite yet there. We got a few more minutes, so a couple more things to get into place down there before we get into opening ceremonies. But, yeah, looking forward to Douglas County, and, of course, heading up to Skagit, where you had another great run up there earlier this year, right?
Yeah, Dirt Cup, ran second behind Trey Starks, and Skagit's another situation where I'm really interested to see now with High Limit kind of going back there. How things kind of play out. I feel like the Northwest has really started rebuilding their 410 sprint car racing scene, and although I wouldn't consider us a Pennsylvania or Knoxville or whatever, but I feel like they're building in a direction where we got some guys that maybe do run Skagit weekly that are going to be able to compete very, very well, and are just as capable of winning races at Skagit, just like the guys that are going to be rolling into town.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun week up there at Skagit, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday next weekend for the Skagit Nationals. $126,000 to the winner of that event. We got the push trucks making their way around the track. As soon as they pull into the infield, we will go downstairs for opening ceremonies. But Tanner, it's been fun having you up here in the booth, man. We go back a long ways, man. We really do.
We do. No, it is great being up here with you, Chase. Chase and I, coming from outlaw kart racing in Northern California, and whether it was on Fast 4 Media or, all the good old days of what we did, and yeah, still get to run outlaw karts from time to time and have some fun doing it.
Absolutely, and the YouTube channel, obviously, that's what everybody knows you for, and that seems like it's going pretty well for you as well. And man, you're one of the more popular guys, that's for sure. With the kids and stuff like that, that's obviously a really cool deal. And one question that you seem to get a lot, and I'm not going to put you on the spot here too crazy, but what are you going to be doing next year? Is what everybody's asking. Are you going to go run high limit, or what are you going to do? Because it seems like you guys have been building towards that, right? You've been going on this Midwest tour 2 times a year and doing a lot more new tracks. So what's the situation there? Can you unveil many details or no?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we just made more than anything, you're just trying to build our program in any opportunity that allows us to do that. This year we got to run with Tarleton Motorsports and, getting to run a little bit side by side with James McFadden and work with Drew and Nate and, just kind of get to see, what they're doing as well. So we're working on it. I think there's definitely a possibility, and we're having conversations within our program if stepping out on the road full time is what's going to be best for us, and we're just going to see if we can make it happen. And a lot of factors that kind of roll into that decision.
Absolutely. Well, Tanner Holmes, great to hear from you. We'll hear from you all night long up here in the booth. Let's go downstairs. It's time for opening ceremonies. Tony Laporta and his new vehicle are down there on the front straightaway. Tony, take it away.
Chase, Wedge high-performance karts bring the thrill of dirt track racing to drivers of all skill levels, from backyard fun to the winner's circle. Wedge karts are hand-built by racers for racers right here in America. Now through September 30th, get 20% off a fully assembled kart with code FLOW20. Again, that's code FLO20. Josh Stagg is the mastermind behind these Wedge karts. I got to take one out for a spin. Yes, the weight capacity did support me out at Cycle Land a few nights ago. That was so much fun. What did the real race car drivers have to say about getting to test drive these Wedge karts?
Yeah, thanks for racing, Tony. The real race car drivers jumped out and said how much fun they are. They're surprisingly fast, very racy. I want to give a special thanks to Donald Gramps at Cycle Land. We put on a really nice exhibition. We're going to race out the end of the year and then be at Lakeport here, locally racing. So super happy to be a partner with High Limit. Obviously, we can do some custom things out of our Rockland shop. We just invite you to give us a call, get online, become a customer and part of the Wedge family.
Yeah, you talk about customization. I really have to commend you. The TLP Express that you made for me, I don't know how you knew it, but you got every staple of my diet illustrated on the side of this go-kart. We've got hot dogs, we've got pizza, the random pineapple ring that I like to eat every day, donuts, although there's a lot of green in there. Where can folks go to learn more about Wedge High Performance Karts and buy one?
Yeah, you can go to www.wedge, W-E-D-G, karts, K-A-R-T-S.com. Obviously, we have a lot of fun. We're a fun company. We built this thing for Tony, and he takes a lot of heat for being a big boy, but he fits in him just fine. Put a big boy seat in him. Come join us, have some fun with the Wedge companies.
Thanks a bunch, Josh. The first thing he said to me when we talked about this was he said, "Don't worry, I've got a 2XL seat in there for you." I'm not going to comment on whether that was snug or not. Again, that's Josh Stagg with Wedge High Performance Karts. We're getting ready to go down here now with opening ceremonies to officially kick off night number 2 of Kubota High Limit Racing here at the 71st running of the Mike Curb Gold Cup Race of Champions presented by NOS Energy Drink. With that being said, at this time, I ask all of you who are here in attendance with us tonight in Chico, California, to please rise at this time as we welcome from Racers for Christ to lead us in tonight's invocation, Miss Lori Cutter.
Let's ask for a blessing tonight. Father God, we come before you on night 2 of the Gold Cup Kubota High Limit Racing at Silver Dollar Speedway. We are incredibly grateful that we can gather as a free nation under God because of you, Lord, because of the service of our military and our first responders around the world. And we ask you, Lord, to keep them in your loving arms and keep them safe. And Lord, please meet the needs of our veterans as well. Thank you for the gift of this day, which is never guaranteed, for the talented drivers, crews, officials, and staff, and every fan gathered here. Beyond the roar of engines and the chase for victory, there is a greater race you call us to run. To love one another, to show kindness, to live with hope. Your word says in John 3:16 that you loved us so much that the world you gave your only Son, and that whoever believes in him would have eternal life. Tonight, may the love be felt by all of us here and watching on Flow. Keep every competitor safe and our rescue team as they respond. Give wisdom to the teams for that perfect setup, and let us run this race and the race of life with endurance, fixing our eyes on you, Jesus. In his name we pray, amen.
Thank you, Lori. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I ask that you please remain standing as we welcome the Children's Choir of Chico to perform tonight's national anthem. Before we hear tonight's national anthem, we check in with Sally McMillan.
Thank you so much, everyone. Once again, it's a great pleasure to be here at Gold Cup with the Children's Choir of Chico. And I was mentioning this when we sang on Wednesday night. They are excited and hoping and dreaming to maybe be able to go over to France and be able to sing God Bless America on the shores of Normandy. But they're going to be singing for you tonight, and if that tickles your generosity bone, they'll be coming around with some red buckets if you want to be a part of them, getting on a plane to Europe to represent America and our troops even overseas. We would love that, but mostly we just thank you for standing and for taking a moment when we all like to be fast and we all like to be noisy, but we know that it's good to be quiet and still for a minute and to remember why we're here. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Chico, California, how about it one more time for the Children's Choir of Chico? Hey, and how about it for the driver of that wedge high-performance cart with the American flag on it, Dylan Bloomfield? All right, Chico, I can see you. Talk to me. Are you ready to go sprint car racing? Good, because that's what we're here to do. Silver Dollar Speedway, it's time to go with night number 2 at Kubota High Limit Racing. It's time for a Friday night fight here in Chico, and that means it's time to go all in with Kubota High Limit Racing.
You know I'm never gonna slack. Slack. No, I'm never gonna slack. You know I gotta come back. Never gonna slack, never gonna slack. Never gonna slack, never gonna slack.
TJ Ford's Wheels Heat Race number 1 now rolling onto the Speedway. 10 laps to distance. Top 5 will transfer to the A main. Remember, a 6-car invert after the qualifying time trials. Let's take a look at the lineup in Heat Race number 1. On the pole from Central Point, Oregon, in the Johnston Water Service, Chuck Brayler, Sealing Specialties, Jake's Truck and Equipment Repair. Number 21W, it's Jake Wheeler. And outside of him, starting in second from Fresno, California, the Tarleton & Sons, Sencal Services, Art and General, Bandy & Associates, number 121, it's Caden Steele. Starting in in third from Sacramento, California. The Chuck's Corvette, JKF Enterprises, Loyalty Builders, Kim's Custom Creations, number 9F, Dustin Freitas. And starting fourth from Sassoon City, California, in the Bushy Financial, C&H Motor Parts, Sierra Single Ply, Quick Change, Liquid Energy, number X1, Chance Grasty. And starting from fifth out of Harrisburg, Oregon, in the Kyle Main Motorsports, Ham Construction, A-Main Trucking, number 35, KM, it's Tyler Thompson. And outside of him, starting from P6 out of Locust Grove, Oklahoma, the Pella, Avanti Windows and Doors, Big Spring Car Wash, Water Treatment by Design, Juniata Concrete, number 13, Dason Pursley. And your final starter is from Placerville, California. It's the High Sierra Industries, C&H Motor Parts, Anrac Corporation, Kings Meats, number 21X, Shane Hopkins. 7 cars, 10 laps, top 5 going to the feature. And there are points in the heat races as well. 100 points to win the heat race, 2 points for every position after that. So 98 points for second, 96 for third. Tanner, who are you going to be watching in this one? Obviously, all eyes got to be on Dason Pursley as he is trying to do what Corey Day did last night, except Day did not win the heat race. He went from 6th to 2nd. If Pursley can go from 6 to 1 and then 8 to 1 in the feature, then he would be on the pole of the Gold Cup tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on Dason. Honestly, I just think like this first heat race is always really interesting. This is going to give us a chance to see how things kind of shape out in actual race mode. We've only seen cars kind of by themselves, so this is going to be a real opportunity to see, you know, kind of what's going to happen here as this front row fires off.
Looks like Shane Hopkins a scratch for this one as we are going to roll to the green this time by Jake Wheeler and Caden Steele. From the front row in TJ Forged Wheels, heat race number 1. Chalk stripe in turn number 4, and we are underway. Caden Steele around the outside with the early race lead. Sliding up the racetrack is Dustin Freitas. They go 3 wide for second down the back straightaway. Jake Wheeler gets slipped back to that 4th position as Chance Grasty makes his way by him and the 9F of Dustin Freitas. Nice opening lap there for Chance Grasty, who moves up to P2. Jake Wheeler runs in 3rd. He gets back by Dustin Freitas. 3 wide again for 4th down the back straightaway. Tyler Thompson down to the inside of Dustin Freitas. He's trying to bring the 13 and Dason Pursley with him. Pursley down the front straightaway trying to go by for 5th. He'll look to the inside into turn number 1. Dason on the inside, Dustin Freitas around the outside. He maintains 5th down the back straightaway. Pursley got to be careful. A big slider into 3 and 4. Takes it back away from Dustin Freitas. Freitas fights back to the inside into turn 1. He'll throw a slider of his own into the first corner. Pursley underneath. He'll take it away down the back stretch. Dason Pursley now into the final transfer spot.
Yeah, Chase, these guys are racing really hard here at the back of the field. There's 6 cars out here, only 5 transfer, and they really were getting after it there for 3 or 4 laps.
Yeah, you got to be in the top 5 to continue on to the feature. Everybody else to the B main. Caden Steele with the lead, and Chance Grasty maintaining the pace in that X1 car. Chance Grasty told me last week he was not going to be here at the Gold Cup. They lost an engine back at Placerville, but they figured something out. They got a motor onto that car, and now he is rolling right along in that 2nd spot. As Dason Pursley, probably not having the heat race he was hoping for here, Tanner, was hoping to maybe go from 6 to 3. Right now he's 6 to 5.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's, I mean, he's still in a good position, obviously, points-wise, but definitely not getting, you know, the heat race points he was looking for. As a couple of these other guys are going to maybe shift up the order, you know, with them moving forward.
The top 2 drivers getting a little bit closer and a little bit closer. Caden Steele trying to hold off the X1 of Chance Grasty. That time by, they have 8 laps complete and 2 to go. Here's the white flag this time for the 121 of Caden Steele in his Gold Cup Race of Champions debut here this week. Chance Grasty closing into 2 car lengths. Does not look like he's going to have anything to make a move on him, though, on the back straightaway. Final time in a 3 and 4. Grasty goes low, but Caden Steele will win TJ Forge heat race number 1. Chance Grasty's 2nd. 3rd will be Jake Wheeler. 4th to Tyler Thompson, and 5th goes to Dason Pursley.
Yeah, this is a unique time chase for these guys. They're starting to figure out with these inverts, you know, how their car is going to handle in traffic and whatnot.
Caden Steele with the win. Chance Grasty 2nd, Jake Wheeler 3rd, Tyler Thompson 4th, and Dason Pursley in 5th. Those 5 cars going to the feature with Dustin Freitas and Shane Hopkins relegated to tonight's B main event. We mentioned Caden Steele was not here last year at the Gold Cup. This is his first attempt here at this race. He started 2nd. He gets the win. Was able to get a NARC King of the West win earlier this year at Tulare. In twin 20s, he won the 2nd 20. The guy standing next to me up here in the booth won the first 20. Caden Steele now standing by with the TLP Express down in the infield.
Chase, the TLP Express has actually been retired. A cracked frame, they said. I did more damage to it than I thought. Hey, Caden Steele, Tanner Holmes is up in the booth, and he made a comment that I found very interesting. Sometimes it can really be sort of, touch and go when you're in the first heat race. Maybe they've worked on the track a little bit. You don't know how it's changed. Do you account for that when you go out on track? Do you drive the start or the first couple laps any differently when you're in the first heat?
Yeah, when you're out in the first heat, you don't really know where everyone's going or what the quickest line is, but at Chico, it's a pretty safe bet that you can go around the top on the first heat and kind of just pull away if you get a good start. But I started to fade there at the end, and I could kind of feel them catching up. I'm not sure, but yeah, first heat race, you don't really know where everyone is, so you just try to kind of feel the track out, and whatever I feel fastest, you just run. So
whatever feels fastest, that is where you run. Good stuff there for Caden Steele. Started out front, finished up front. Interesting comment there, I think, guys. He didn't know if they were catching up behind him. Chance Grasty most definitely was starting to reel in. Your race leader just ran out of laps there at the very end.
Yeah, he really did, Tony, as we now roll into heat race number 2. This one brought to you by the folks at DMI Racing Components. On the pole from Lubbock, Texas, the Horizon Whiskey, Nice Creek and Landis, ShopTruckParts.com, FillPools.com, High Performance Lubricants number 5. It's Brenham Crouch. And outside of him from Hollister, California, in the NOS Energy Drink, Inland Rigging, MP Environmental, Woodland Auto Display, SureCan LLC, number 73, Ryan Burnell. Starting in third out of Fresno, California, the Red Rose Transportation, Selzy Enterprises, Redline Oil, Whipple Industries, number 41, Dominic Selzy. And outside of him, starting in fourth out of Minden, Nevada, in the JST Motorsports, the Ritual, Smith Titanium Factory, Kane, Maxima Racing Oils, number 88, Tanner Thorson. Starting back in fifth from Arlington, Washington, the Triple X Race Components, Pacific Performance Coatings, Shark Engines, Grinders Automotive, number 21S, Jesse Schlotfeld. And starting from P6 out of Aromas, California, in the Folkens Brothers Trucking, Power Plus, STC Global, American Table, Bargain Bar, number 87, Justin Sanders. And your final starter from Alberta, California, the Americoat, Sabre Sheet Metal, Torsion Bar, Dyno Service, Grandma and Grandpa, 7W Dennis Shear. Coming to the green in DMI Racing Components heat race number 2. 5 will transfer after 10 laps of action. Chalk stripe in turn 4, Brenham Crouch and Brian Burnell from the front row, green flag. A little bit of a wild start there as they were nearly 3 wide, middle of the field. Burnell peeks underneath the Brenham Crouch, but Crouch has the race lead down the backstretch. Tanner Thorson around the outside gets into the third position by Dominic Selzy, and Justin Sanders very close with Dominic Selzy on the front straightaway right there. Justin Sanders looking underneath the Dominic Selzy down the backstretch. Also a race for second as well. Tanner Thorson underneath the Ryan Burnell. They go side by side for second down the front straightaway. Justin Sanders now up to fourth, gets by Dominic Selzy. Now the battle we turn our attention to is the one between the 73 and the 88. Burnell up on the cushion, Thorson through the middle, shows the nose, but Burnell maintains that spot for now.
Yeah, Tanner Thorson's really making the bottom side work, and you can see how, he's not necessarily just sticking the bottom, but just really carrying speed across, which is very normal here at Chico as guys start to move lower on the surface.
Trying to run the top down there in 3 and 4, now back to the bottom in 1 and 2, trying to get by the 73 of Ryan Burnell and put himself in a good spot for tonight's feature. Up front, it's all about the number 5 of Brenham Crouch, as he looks solid back behind a pass for the 5th spot. The final transfer now belongs to Jesse Schlotfeld. Schlotfeld goes in front of the 41 of Dominic Selzy. Schlotfeld through the middle, Selzy up on the top, and down the backstretch, Schlotfeld puts some distance between himself and the Red Rose Transportation number 41. 6 completed, 4 to go for Brenham Crouch. His lead is now over a straightaway as Tanner Thorson is still hounding the back of Ryan Burnell off of turn number 4. Thorson stuck the bottom right there in turn 4 there. Tanner looked like it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, and he's even able to work the middle now in 1 and 2. Like I think it's just starting to kind of work in where, maybe if there's a little bit of grease or whatnot, now it's starting to kind of actually turn into grip and guys are getting some good forward drive out of it.
Thorson is running out of laps though, 2 to go. You mentioned the middle. He just ran that down there in 1 and 2 in his pursuit of that NOS Energy Drink number 73. Here's the white flag, 1 lap to go for Brenham Crouch at the front of the field in the DMI heat race. Down the back straightaway in the Horizon Whiskey number 5. He is looking for the win. 3 and 4 for the final time. Crouch gets the win. Second is going to go to Ryan Burnell. Tanner Thorson third. Fourth to Justin Sanders. And fifth is Jesse Schlotfeld. I'll tell you what, Thorson threw everything at Ryan Burnell to try and make that pass. Could not get it done.
Yeah, Thorson was really, really good.
Brenham Crouch with the win in DMI Racing Components heat race number 2. Ryan Burnell second, Tanner Thorson third, Justin Sanders fourth, and Jesse Schlotfeld fifth. Those 5 moving on to the main event. Dominic Selzy and Dennis Shear will head to tonight's semi-feature. Brenham Crouch in the CJB Motorsports number 5, making his way towards the interview position on the front straightaway to talk with his good buddy Tony Laporta. Brenham was 21st in last year's prelim night, but Tony, he's looking to improve upon that here this year.
Chase, you must be listening to my conversations I have with the drivers in the pit area, because that's precisely what Brenham Crouch told me when I stopped by the CJB Motorsports hauler this afternoon. Brenham Crouch told me exactly that. He said, I'm excited to be here in Chico, California and improve on my Gold Cup of 2024. You've done that by picking up a heat race victory. Do you think you're gaining speed and learning this track?
Yeah, we're getting there. Did not qualify good, so we're in a must-win situation there. Thanks to my guys, you know, they're working hard to get me comfortable on these types of racetracks, and we're working out our kinks slowly, so hopefully that's a little bit of momentum to carry us into the feature tonight and hopefully set ourselves up good tomorrow.
Hey, tell Stinny to be careful in those hotel pools, okay? Brenham Crouch gets the job done. And guys, another very interesting comment there in that heat race interview. Brenham Crouch said a must-win situation based on how they qualify. That's also how his good friend, Joel Myers Jr., the Californian Kiwi, described his performance last night in the heat races. When you get buried by a poor qualifying result with these points, it truly is a must-win situation to salvage your prelim night.
It certainly is, Tony. We'll see if that trend continues on here in this heat race with Luke Hayes on the pole out of Dunnigan, California. Luke at his high limit racing debut tonight in the Farm Logistics Hayes Farms, Valley Tire, Interstate Oil number 9L. And outside of him from Modesto, California, it's the Anorak Corporation, Lund Construction, Creason Enterprises, Matroscope number 7 seed Tony Gomes. And starting in third from Overland Park, Kansas, the Triple X Chassis, Moose's LZ Bar and Grill, Gary Silver Ranches, Ditto's Graphics, number 17 Jace Park. And outside of him starting fourth from Templeton, California, and the ShopCaleb.com, David Cry Engineering, Luxton Real Estate, Woodland Auto Display, number 3 Caleb Montgomery. And rolling off fifth from Apollo, Pennsylvania, the Mosites Motorsports, Ducati of Pittsburgh, Hollywood Blasting Coating, Mountain Mechanical, Mav Motorsports, number 42 Cy Lynch. And your final starter from Lebanon, Indiana, and the Works Limited, JVI Group, Smith Titanium, FK Shocks, Banshee Graphics, letter W, Spencer Baston. Tough heat race here, Tanner, with 2 360s on the front row, but Tony Gomes, no slouch.
No, definitely for sure, and those guys could get out front. I feel like the position to always watch with the 6-car invert here is that 5th place starting position where Cy Lynch is at. It's just you're kind of boxed in. You don't have the angle into turn 1, so you really need things to work out, you know, to try to advance and keep a transfer position.
We'll see if Cy can make something happen here. His Silver Dollar Speedway debut, the green flag waves, and Luke Hayes is on the gas. Great start there for Jace Park, and he'll show the way into turn number 1. Jace Park with the lead down the back straightaway. Cy Lynch, a great start in this one, from 5th all the way up into 3rd at the completion of lap number 1, and looking at Luke Hayes for 2nd off the corner right there. Close call in turn number 4 as Tony Gomes fights back to the inside of Cy Lynch, but Lynch is very strong early on in this heat race as he ducks underneath of Luke Hayes. Here's a slide job for 2nd into turn number 4. Cy Lynch to 2nd, Luke Hayes back to the inside. Spencer Baston closing in on those two. Baston runs in 4th, and now on the rear bumper of the 42 of Cy Lynch down the back straightaway. Jace Park up front with the lead, his lead over a straightaway now as Caleb Montgomery slides in front of Tony Gomes. Caleb Montgomery and Tony Gomes fighting for that final transfer position down the back straightaway. Caleb in the 3, Tony Gomes in the 7C. Montgomery tries to run the bottom there. He slips up through the middle, and Tony Gomes did that same exact thing. Now Caleb goes to the outside in turns 1 and 2. Tony Gomes with 5th. Montgomery a huge head of steam down the backstretch. Tony running the defensive line right now, Tanner, and it's working out for him.
Yeah, he's able to use a lot of the racetrack. Now Caleb to the inside, that was a little close into turn 1, but Caleb definitely had a good run there, and now he looks to try to pull away and secure the transfer spot.
Now we got a race for 3rd. Spencer Baston slider on Cy Lynch. He'll take it away. Lynch back to the inside. They get very close into turn 1. It does not get much closer than that. Cy Lynch and Spencer Baston throwing hands at each other into turn 1. Now here comes Baston. Big move for 2nd into turn number 4. Spencer Baston takes 2nd away. Luke Hayes. He'll duck underneath of him into turn 1. Take it right back away. Not bad for a 360 out there. The 9L is rolling right now. Spencer Baston back to the inside. He's got 2nd for sure. secure now across the flag stand. 2 laps to go. Jace Park, meanwhile, almost a half-track lead in the 17.
Yeah, Jace Park's absolutely ripping out front, but yeah, major credit to Luke Hayes. He really put up a good fight that entire heat race. He's looking like he's going to finish 3rd here.
Yeah, he's going to put it in the show, no doubt, if he makes it one more lap. We're coming to the checker this time by. Here's your winner, Jace Park, dominating fashion in that one. Spencer Bastion looking to come home in 2nd. He will do so. Luke Hayes in 3rd.
Oh!
Cy Lynch 4th, and at the line, Tony Gomes gets back by the 3 of Kayla Montgomery.
Wow.
And puts the 360 in the A main.
A lot happened there, Chase.
Yeah, we couldn't keep track of everything that was going on there throughout the field. Jace Park, though, wins it by 5.7 seconds to get the job done in BR Motorsports Heat Race number 3. Spencer Baston, Luke Hayes, Cy Lynch, Tony Gomes, the top 5, and then Caleb Montgomery. Tanner, tell us what happens here.
Yeah, it looks like Tony just got a little bit in the cushion, and wow. I mean, that's what you guys have used the word hero mode. I mean, he just kept his foot in it there, and I mean, hey, got him in the show tonight.
He was up on the bike, ringing the bell on the handlebars right there, coming off of turn number 4, ends up in P5, but your winner by over 5 seconds, Jace Park.
Jace Park driving this very easy to spot Snow Racing 17S, and good thing it's so bright and colorful, because we had a hard time finding you out on track. You were so far out in front, to the tune of 5.7 seconds your victory. When you have that big of a margin over your competitors, can you play around, experiment, and learn a little bit more about this car?
Yeah, I was able to move around there a little bit. It kind of got a little slick up there against the curb in 1 and 2, so I tried to plug it, a few car lengths down, and had a good run there. But I figured with my good start, and I looked up at the leaderboard, and I knew there were a couple 360s in that race, so I felt confident in my car. Really appreciative of Clayton Snow for giving me this opportunity, and all the guys back in the pits. They've been busting their butts, and just been driving my butt off. We've had some races here before, and definitely a big confidence booster, and can't thank the guys enough, and excited to see what we can do tonight.
That's Jace Park, the young man from Overland Park, Kansas, with a very convincing win in heat race number 3.
Thank you very much, Tony. Heat race number 4 brought to you by Rod & Supply. And on the front row of this one from Geyserville, California, it's the Malcolm Drilling, Chico Truck and RV, Cruise Well Drilling. Number 76, Jennifer Osborne. And outside of her from Fresno, California, the Pacific Born, Circle J5 Farms, M&L Plumbing, MedTech Titanium. Number 14E, Mariah Eid. Starting in 3rd from St. Helena, California, in the Rico Abreu, Kerbag Genian Racing, Stamel for Construction, Pacific Born, ArcZone.com. Number 24, Rico Abreu. And outside of him from the San Jose, California, the Maxwell Engines and Adco Disposal, Advanced Auto Center, Swimming Pool Perfections. Number 0, it's Tim Kading. And starting 5th from Alice Springs, Northern Territory, Australia, the Tarleton & Son, American Rock and Red, Durst Incorporated, Bandy & Associates. Number 21, James McFadden. And your final starter from Fresno, California, in the NOS Energy Drinks, Spire Motorsports, Elliott's Custom Totors and Carts, Brand Professional Agriculture, Gainbridge. Number 7, BC, it is Giovanni Selzy. Some good guys in this one, Tanner. The track looks like it's shaping up pretty well, so they have a chance to move forward if they start back in row 3.
No, I feel like, yeah, if you kind of could pick in a perfect world what heat race you'd want to be in, it's heat race number 4. The most laps have been on the racetrack now. Guys are really starting to work the bottom. The top is starting to move up. It's still thick. You can see 1 and 2 where it's a little closer to the edge. But, yeah, still some grip out there, but it's definitely slicking off. And guys are not only going to need more from the race cars, but they're also going to have to do quite a bit in the cockpit just between, those 2 feet. A little bit of brake action, a little bit of throttle, and every driver's different. But that combination with what you can do with your feet is what's going to make you fast.
Yeah, the track is shaping up very, very nicely. We'll see if McFadden or Selzy can make their way from row 3 up into the 1st or 2nd spot. Going to be tough when you're battling a guy like Rico Abreu and Tim Kading. Meanwhile, Tim Kading, a 61-time winner here at Silver Dollar Speedway. Rico Abreu, a 2-time Gold Cup champion, to his credit. Jennifer Osborne, Mariah Eid, front row. 10 laps in Rod & Supply heat race number 4. Here we go. Green lights come on. They're going to go 3 wide into the corner. Rico trying to go underneath of Mariah Eid. Could not make that happen. Giovanni Selzy shot out of a cannon here on the start from 6th. Now looking for the 3rd spot off of turn number 4. And Gio will not have the spot as Mariah gets back in front of him right there. Close call across the line, Tanner.
Yeah, that was really close. Gio definitely has some good positive forward momentum. So does the 21 car, though, James McFadden. He's looking to go 5th to 3rd here.
And McFadden's going to make the move on Gio Selzy. New leader across the line is Tim Kading. There is damage to the nose wing on Tim Kading's car as he Selzy continues to show the way. Jennifer Osborne running in second. McFadden has made his way by Gio Selzy into third. Selzy runs fourth, and fifth is the 14 of Mariah Eid. Rico Abreu currently outside of a transfer spot right now. The 24 needs one more position to be a part of tonight's A-Main. And Rico's got some work to do, it looks like, Tanner. He's pretty well behind Mariah Eid as she rolls off of turn 4.
Yeah, luckily on his side right now, he has more laps, and he's making, now looks like he's finally starting to get rolling. I'm sure Rico's just trying to find a good rhythm here. Wow, just got into the cushion again. Right now, things are really starting to ledge up around the top side of it. And obviously, you can see the 24 is struggling to get around it.
And we got a battle for second now as McFadden looks underneath of Jennifer Osborne. She's able to fend off that challenge. Jennifer running with a 360 engine here tonight and still up in that second spot, circling the bottom very nicely. And here comes McFadden, big run to the outside, going to go to the top in turn number 1. James McFadden looking to go from 5th up into that second spot. He pulls up next to Jennifer Osborne down into turn number 3. Up front, it's all about Tim Kading, even with that nose wing damage, still showing the way. McFadden takes second away across the start-finish line. 3 laps to go. Can McFadden catch back up and seal the deal here? It looks like he's equally or maybe a little bit faster than Tim Kading there, Tanner.
Yeah, James is really making some good speed here. You can see the top side's kind of the place to be, but if you can hit the lower side or carry good speed through 1 and 2, it looks like he might have some here for the 0 car.
Keeping an eye on the battle for 5th as well. The white flag is coming. Rico Abreu's got to make a move on either Jennifer Osborne or Mariah Eid.
Yeah, it's getting good. Wow.
Eid makes the pass, and now Rico's going to seal the deal. He gets up into 5th by Jennifer Osborne as we come to the checker this time by McFadden underneath of Tim Kading, and Kading's going to hang on for the win. McFadden second, Selzy in third, 4th goes to Rico Abreu, and 5th goes to Mariah Eid. Very interesting stuff throughout that one. A lot going on throughout these heat races, much like what we saw here last night as well. As Tim Kading gets the win, James McFadden the second, Giovanni Selzy third, Rico Abreu 4th, and Mariah Eid 5th. And Jennifer Osborne will round out the field in Rod and Supply heat race number 4. Tim Kading damaged and all, able to hang on for that Rod and Supply heat race win. Now he'll talk to Tony Laporte in the infield.
Yeah, check out the sideboard here on the nose wing. A little rough and ready down here, rowdy and rough. I don't know what the alliteration would be. Maybe Tim Kading does. Physical racing, but I want to talk about how much fun the Gold Cup is. I may or may not have bumped into you at a glow party last night. Are you having any fun at all out here? You just went 4th to 1st. That looked like fun.
Yeah, that was awesome. We've had a tight race car most of the year, and to be able to get around here and drive around, we just the 14 car peeled off a little bit lower than I thought, and I got her in the rear bumper and pulled the front panel off there. But we'll put a new front wing on, go have some fun, and for the glow party, it used to be a lot more fun than this. I can tell you that. I remember being up till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, not 12:30 when we're supposed to go to bed now at an older age, but. Thank you all the fans. Thank you for everybody that supports this whole thing here and trying to liven it back up. So hopefully we have a little bit more fun in the main event and can knock off a good night and have some fun.
Young guys like you might be able to stay up till 4 or 5, not me, TK. They've already pulled the sideboard on that nose wing back. Who knows? Maybe he needs a new nose wing, maybe he doesn't. TK goes 4th to 1st in the 0 to lock into tonight's A-Main event. That'll do it for heat races down here, folks.
You can always count on Tim Kading for a good soundbite, no doubt about that, as he is able to secure the win in Rod and Supply heat race number 4. He'll head back to the trailer and prepare himself for feature action here on night 2 of the 71st Mike Curb Gold Cup Race of Champions. We're going to go to break here on Flow. When we come back, it'll be B main event time here at the Gold Cup.
My name is Chase Randall, and you're watching Kubota High Limit Racing, live on FloRacing.
Established in 1983, FK Rod-Ends has been the industry leader for both midget and micro racing. Family owned and operated, we take pride in our products and our name because we know you value yours. Visit our website,